in Tewkesbury in Gloucestershire.
Tewkesbury Abbey on a winter's afternoon. It was Monday, the 28th of January. Among the Abbey's most valuable relics is this 14th century Madonna and Child. It's valued at £34,000 and one of only two in the world. The handyman, Malcolm Isles, noticed two men in the Abbey that afternoon. They appeared to be taking a rather closer interest in the layout of the church than most tourists do. One was about 5'8" with dark hair, and the other was taller with light collar-length hair. Two hours later, as a parishioner arrived just before evensong, she too saw a light-haired man entering the Abbey.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you.
He seemed rather well-spoken. That parishioner's daughter and the Abbey sacristan saw him too. He spent some minutes inspecting the cloister door.
What's that chap doing behind there?
"6 p.m. The sacristan shut the Abbey as usual. Police now know that sometime that night a wooden bench was used by someone as a ladder to one of the windows. The burglar clearly knew what he was after. He'd got to the Madonna and Child despite the specially toughened glass. The escape was made by picking the lock on the cloister door. York, 5 months later, Friday the 14th of June. St Olave's Church, Marygate, is 11th century, an active place of worship and a tourist attraction. The vicar, the Reverend Alan Heslop, and a local architect arrived at 2:30. The new roof of the Lady Chapel needed a final inspection. While he was up there, the architect recalls hearing the organist practicing. At around 2:45, the Reverend Heslop paused to listen to the Bach prelude. There was one other person enjoying the music, a local visitor who also remembers admiring the alabaster Madonna and Child, an 18th century statue greatly valued by the parishioners. Just after 3, Mrs. Parks, one of the flower arrangers, arrived. She too recalls seeing some people in the church.
When I came through the door, I just glanced round casually, and standing with his back to me, looking right down the church, there was a man dressed in fawn clothes with a fawn bag. There were a couple of tourists about halfway down the aisle. While I was in the vestry, I was vaguely conscious all the time of people moving about, as they would walking up and down on stone floors, and of the noise that's made when the front door slams back shut behind someone. I finished the vase, then I carried it outside, down the side aisle. I just noticed out of the corner of my eye that there was no statue on the plinth.
Between 3 and 3:30, it had been stolen. To remove a 2.5-foot statue secured to a steel mounting was almost certainly a professional job.